So, good evening, everyone. My name is Ari Kagan. I'm proudly serving as president of this amazing Community First Republican Club. We're going to start, and we always start our club meetings with Pledge of Allegiance to American flag. So, I see a lot of new people, new members, which I'm very, very grateful and happy to see. Our club had a grand opening last year on December 4th, and we have monthly meetings in this beautiful center. I don't see Lina Chen. Where is Lina Chen? Lina, I told her not to leave. Beautiful center. She's always welcoming everybody, always hospitable. And Lina organized a lot of beautiful events, not just in this center, but all over Brooklyn and even in Staten Island. So and we're very proud that Lina Chen is also a member of our executive board of our club. So, also, I would like all board members just to stand up and to wave hands. Please, all board members, please stand up, please, yeah. Faina Vasilevsky, Nasir, Nasir Faizi, and Janine Kiriketsi, Anna Spilkovskaya, Artur Rothstein, and more coming. Huh? No, they are not board members. They help to create our club. They are ex-officials, but they are not board members. You know, like so. They help to establish our club. Assemblyman Ali Burkrasny and Assemblyman Michael Novakov. They helped to create this club, by the way, most of them. Thank you for coming. It's called ex-officials of our club. Thank you. Our last club meeting was on March 5th. And since then, we did not relax, we did not sleep. We worked very, very hard in the community. And you remember, our name is the Community First Republican Club, because we advocate for Southern Brooklyn communities and we support Republican candidates. And both of these things require a lot of time, efforts, money, volunteers. Since March 5th, we collected hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of signatures under petitions for Republican candidates and Republican elected officials who are running for re-election. And it's very difficult. Door to door, I personally collected about 200-something signatures, and many of you collected signatures. And even today, by the way, we collected signatures under the very specific line. Will be independent line this election, at least in Assembly District number 45, which is Assemblyman Michael Novakov, called Stop Mamdani. The line called Stop Mamdani. Because we believe, and also in the district of State Senator Stephen Chen, which is District 17, Bensonhurst, Gravesend, parts of Bay Ridge, Sunset Park, and West Beach. And it looked like this line will be the most popular in November. Stop Mamdani. Because I see already the Democrats, Independents, Republicans, unaffiliated, you name it, signing these petitions. Because a lot of people in this city do not like what's going on. And we are not talking about some grandiose projects or some kind of mysterious events. We're talking about basics, talking about public safety, for example. If you like what's going on in New York City with public safety, if you like that criminals are released the next morning after being arrested today, tomorrow they are released. If you like it. If you like closure of Rikers Island with opening 4 smaller jails with 3,500 people less capacity, meaning 3,500 criminals will be released to the street. If you like that instead of teaching children in colleges and schools math, English, history, arts, they are taught like how to switch from boy to girl and from girl to boy. If you like all of this, then you do not sign this petition, Stop Mamdani. But if you're disgusted with all of this, if you feel that our city going into the wrong direction, our mayor complaining about not enough money in the city treasury, he is saying we have a $5 billion budget gap, and the next morning he's announcing new positions. Chief Equity Officer in New York City with $200,000 plus a year salary, and he wants Chief Equity Officer in every city agency to check race, sexual orientation, and religion and everything else of people who work in these agencies or who work in these corporations. Because he believes that the proper way not to uplift everybody, but to divide us. Like, you know, look around this room. People are very, very different. But we all love New York. We all love America. We all love American dream. We all support that working hard, you know, studying, working, follow the law. That's the proper way. Regardless of, we love our heritage. We all love our heritage. I'm proud Russian-speaking Jewish American, and I'm proud of it. But you know, I'm a New Yorker. I love New York City. I love this Frank Sinatra song, if you can make it there, you can make it anywhere. So, and it's everybody. I mean, everybody. Why not to make our cities safer, cleaner, affordable for everybody? Quality of life. That's what should be a mayor doing, you know, but that's not what he is doing. He's still dividing every day and reading, oh, this color, this religion, this sexual orientation. Oh, I'm appointing new person and she is transgender. Who cares? I'm not checking her bedroom, you know. I don't care what is her sexual orientation. I want, when I call city agency, they do not say it's not our job. Street lights not working, that's not us. Potholes, that's someone else. Assemblyman Michael Novakov just did a cleanup in Shipson Bay. Why? Not only to unite volunteers and to unite local communities and that, but because sometimes sanitation departments say it's not us. Saying it's not us. Or they're saying we don't have money, we don't have enough people, and police officers, many people here attend precinct council meetings. Correct, Melissa? And how many times I've heard that we need at least 20 more police officers. Oh, we cannot do it, we don't have enough police officers. And talking about police officers, our first guest speaker tonight is a person I respect tremendously. I'm talking about Marty Goldman, who served as a police officer on streets of New York, like for many years. And then he could retire, as well as my current boss, Senator Stephen Chen, who served as an NYPD sergeant for 27 years. He retired, and now he's a senator, because he could not handle any longer. He could not wait any longer to see what's going on in New York City. He decided to run for political office, and was elected in a overwhelmingly Democratic district as a Republican conservative. I'm talking about Senator Stephen Chen. Marty Golden ran for New York City Council, and won, and became New York City Councilman. I remember he was an absolutely incredible city councilman. Then he ran for New York State Senate from Southern Brooklyn, including this area, by the way, Shipson Bay as well. And guess what? He won, and served for many, many years as a New York State Senator in this area. People loved him, and especially they loved his office for doing constituent services. When you're helping people, people are not asking, are you Irish? Or are you Italian? Are you Jewish? Or are you African American? Are you Muslim? Or are you Christian? They're saying, are you doing your job? Please help me. Please help me. And when people called office of Senators Marty Golden, until today I'm hearing the stories and stories and stories. Everybody received help. We're talking about tens of thousands of people. I personally was at some town halls of Marty Golden. I remember, Marty, I remember getting some beach town hall. I came down there, I was very impressed. He took care even of problems with bicycles, you know, every small minor problem, he took care of it. So I'm very, very proud to introduce our first guest speaker tonight, the person who helps the city tremendously, who served in NYPD and protected our public safety, who served as councilman, as senator, and I will give you a secret, now he's also involved helping Catholic charities. And those non-for-profit organizations, and I shouldn't mention this, but he continues to serve. He finds a way every day to serve New York in many, many different forms. And I'm very proud to introduce my good friend, Senator Marty Golden. Please.
Marty!
Thank you so much. Marty Golden, please applause. All life, public public service. He served New Yorkers in so many different capacities. Police officer, councilman, senator, and you name it. Even now, I was with Marty Golden on several parades in Bay Ridge. They say, run for governor, run for governor. I witnessed it. So people love Marty Golden. Thank you so much.
He's on the shoulder. Okay. I had my shoulder turned around and he's shaking it like it's going to shake it off.
I'm so sorry.
That's okay, it's not your fault. It's not coming along as well as I thought it would. It's 8 weeks already. So I wish it was a little bit better. But ladies and gentlemen, you got a great man in Ari here, and you got a great man in Brooklyn. You got a great bunch of people here running. Anybody in the audience that's running for office? You are? No. Who's running for office? One. Okay, I gave
No,
that.
Anna's because Anna is running from Hesse.
Come on up here, young lady.
Marty, this gentleman over here, Marty.
Yeah. Are you running for assembly too, correct? Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is important, and Ari was very, very good in pointing it all out. But we need to win our elections going forward. And we can, and we will. And they're going to try to use Donald Trump as a guy that's not doing the right thing. Donald Trump is doing the right thing. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? When this is all over, you will see that he did do the right thing. And we will be able to win seats, not just here in New York, but across this nation. We need to take and hold Congress. We need to take and hold the U.S. Senate. We need to win seats here in New York State. When I was in the New York State Senate, I was part of the majority. The Senate was the majority in New York, and the Assembly was Democratic. So we had checks and balances, and we had 3 governors that were Republican. So can we do it? The answer is yes, we can. See these men up here? You can join us up here, these 2 guys. Come on, get up here. Ladies and gentlemen, come on, get up here. These are the gentlemen that are going to be running this year. Some of them are running. He's not, obviously. He's going to be running in 29. But I got to tell you, the city council is where I started. I was there for 6 years, state senate for 16 years, and then in the police officer for 10 years. I was in a situation in a 6-7 precinct. I was playing clothes, street crime, and we were chasing a couple of guys, and I got run down. And they put a plate in my arm, they put a pin in my hip. Then, since then, I've had a new knee put in. I see a guy named Rock Positano at Hospital Special Surgery every week, graduate from Siberian High School, local boy. And I have my shoulder just turned around, and they want to go into my 3, 4, 5 in the back. They're not going to let it. They're not going in. So that's all the sins of 1982 from getting run down. Think about that. So I paid for those. 73 I went on, 82 I got hurt, 83 I got out. And that's when I started on the Bay Ridge Manor, owned a couple of restaurants, and then I went to the City Council, State Senate. And now I'm Vice President of Catholic Charities for Brooklyn and Queens, the largest Catholic charities in all of the country. 5,000 housing units, 3 more housing units getting built. He's going to give us several hundred more housing units for people of need that need those housing units. We are on fire, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to continue. But we cannot do it without getting the Congress, the U.S. Senate, and winning seats here in New York. Can we do that? Can we do that? Ladies and gentlemen, I gave out some papers, and the reason I gave the papers out was to a platform for how you're going to win. And Ari went into a lot of it. The New York City is cost of living and the taxes. That's what's killing us, ladies and gentlemen. They can talk about everything they want to talk about, but that's what's killing us. New York City is too expensive due to high taxes and over-regulation. State budget is due on April 1st. When was April 1st? Okay? They've done extenders 5 times so far. And 6 times now, excuse me. I've been corrected. Out of control spending leads to continued tax increases and the affordability of middle class survival. You ready for this number? 61% of New Yorkers are finding it increasingly difficulty to meet basic needs. We're talking about our car insurance. We're talking about our local taxes. We're talking about water bills, electric bills. We're talking about being able to stay here. And we got a crazy mayor, we got a crazy city council, but the city council, believe it or not, is not as crazy. They're putting this guy into checkmate, which is important. Thank God they got some common sense, even though it's Democratic, they still got some common sense because they got some good men like Gary in that good body. Ladies and gentlemen, public safety is the other issue. You're gonna laugh. I come from Bay Ridge, right? I think it's a beautiful place. What can happen there? What do you think happened last night? They took cars, the tires, they put the cars up on platforms, and they take the tires and the rims, and they rob them.
Catalytic converters.
And what they do?
Catalytic converters.
And the catalytic converters. Ready for this? They had a car pursuit last night. They were doing they're doing burglaries. People are living in the house, they're breaking into the homes while the people are in the homes. Two homes. Two pursuits last night in the 6-8 precinct. One of them went to New Jersey. Ready for that? That's through, over the bridges, through Staten Island, into New Jersey. And guess what we had? It's called the helicopter. And we just stayed on top of them, and we caught the son of a bitch, and we got him in New Jersey. That was a guy doing the burglaries and a catalytic converter. We caught him. He had 6 catalytic converters in his car. We caught him as well. So, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. So, that's the other issue. And subways. Everybody thinks subways are safe. Give me a break. They're not safe. You got to be very, very careful if you're on the subway. You just got off the subway, right? And you kept your eyes open, right? You certainly did. So you got to support your policing enforcement, and you got to make sure that they go after these repeat offenders. Guess what happens? They got these guys for what? Catalytic converters. What are they? Property. Right? So guess what? It's not a murder. It's not a robbery with a gun. It's not a shooting. So they're back on the street within 24 to 48 hours. All right? But we know who they are. We know where they came from. We know where they're going. And now we're on top of them. So they're not coming back into Bay Ridge. But I'd be worried about where you live because they're going someplace. They're going to go someplace. And we got to make sure we get them and keep them off the street. Keep our cities safe and keep the people in our cities safe. Robberies are about 15% alone in the transit system. All right? They keep on telling you how crime is down 5%. Zoran, you're wrong. And do me a favor, please, pay attention. We need to keep this city. We cannot afford, the floodgate is open, and the people are leaving in droves. Florida, Texas, North Carolina, South Carolina, you name it, they're out of here. New Jersey is not even on the map anymore for them. They're getting out of here completely out of the Northeast. They're leaving us. They're not going to go to Massachusetts or Connecticut. They're getting out of here. They're going down south. So we got to get after them. And the felony assaults, the 6 years in a row, have reached levels beyond 1997. Think about that. 1997. That's the type of crime we have being committed today. Major crimes rose in 25, and they continue to rise. Small businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, we can't keep taxing them. Guess what? Free grocery stores, government-run grocery stores. What does that do to our local stores? Think about it. What does it do to them? It is horrible. You know why? Because they're leaving too, because they can't afford to stay in business. So you're closing them. So how many people have you just put out of business? You just not the owner, but what about the people that work for you? What about all those employees? What about those employee taxes that we were making, that the city of New York and the state of New York were making? Where are they? They're gone. They're gone.
Each store will cost $30 million.
Yeah, think about it.
$30 million give for people who is homeless or mentally sick.
Yeah,
This
and
is for $30
And
million.
all the local bodegas and the local stores around them will be closed. There'll be no money coming into taxes, and all those people will be without jobs that work in those stores. We can't have that. Can we have that? No. Can we have that? No. No, we cannot. We need to get back in this game. We got to worry about our local stores. We got to worry about our regulations that are going down on our local stores. And of course, crime is number one issue across many communities. So we need to support them. The transit, the trains, my God in heaven. They are filthy, they're not reliable, and Manami wants free buses and subways. Could you imagine being on a bus and you got 4 homeless people sleeping on the bus? Think about that. Imagine going to work in the morning into Manhattan and you got a bunch of homeless people sleeping on the bus and you can't get on the bus because it's too overcrowded, or these express buses are in Manhattan. Think about it. We cannot have that. We will not have that. We will stand up and we will fight it, but we got to fight it with Republicans in control, and Republicans can and will win elections this year. They will win, and we will run victory. We need to make accountability. Government has to be made accountable to the people of the city and state of New York and to this nation. We need to make sure that they portray leadership and the efficiency and ideology driven. Push the transparency and the budgeting contracting. We got to know what they're doing and what they're spending the money on. Where are they getting this money from? How are they doing it? Why are they doing it? They can't. We finally got a gas line that they put out of business for I don't know how many years. We're finally getting it put into Reese Park, and it's going to be coming up, and that's going to help us. But how long did that take? That took years and years and years. We need economic competitiveness. Businesses are leaving New York City in droves, and so are the people. My wife is looking at me and she says to me, why are we still here? You know why? Because I love New York City, and I was born in New York City. My parents came from Ireland in 1948, and they had 8 kids in 10 years. I'm the oldest of them, 8. They worked extremely hard. 2 jobs, 3 jobs. Superintendents of an apartment building. We, the kids, were the ones who were the supers. A&P stock boy. A&P stock boy. You know, these are the things that we did to be able to survive. And that's what we have to do today to be able to survive. Ladies and gentlemen, we can do it. We will do it. We need Republican control. The object of the game here is to get our friends out, get our families out. How many of us make phone calls here? How many people asking? How many people are asking their next door neighbor, hey, did you go to vote? Who are you voting for? Hey, are you kidding? Come on. We need to take this city back. You're not going to vote? You got to get engaged. And if you get engaged in the communities across this city, just across the community we live in, right here in Brooklyn, you will see changes. The only way you're going to see those changes is by getting our friends, our families, our neighbors, our blocks, get them out to vote, and then you will see real change. We need one party in the state. We can get the state Senate, God bless us. We don't want to lose the state seats across the state, and we don't have to. We can win some of those seats, and we can make it a real fight. Could you imagine Kathy Hochul, the governor again? Nominate Patrick Espiritu Santos on that. Give me a break. We do not need that to happen, and it's not going to happen. We have a gentleman that's running, what's his name?
Bruce Blakeman. Bruce Blakeman, yes.
Is he going to win?
Yes.
Is Bruce Blakeman going to win?
Yes.
Are we going to get out and vote, friends?
Yes.
Are we going to get our communities to get out and vote?
Yes.
And if he gets elected, right, there's that down vote. That'll go to the Assembly, to the Senate, and to others at congressional seats. Those people will get elected through the down vote from who?
Bruce Blakeman. Bruce Blakeman.
You better believe it. Now, I got the Conservative Party has an event on Sunday. Bruce Blakeman will be there. Their Honorable Donald Cranston from Marine Park, and we will be at that event. And we will start again to do the same thing. We got to pump the people up. We got to get them engaged. Now, this room here is engaged. But how many people are engaged across the city? How many people engaged in your own block? How many of your family members engaged? They don't want to talk about it. Leave me alone. I don't want to talk about it. Talk about Trump, forget about it.
So they don't have time for everybody.
Think about that. This guy Trump, they're going to try to use him every which way they can. This will be over, and you will see he will be victorious. But ladies and gentlemen, he's saving a bomb from going into Israel. into the United States, into France, into England. He is stopping this country from running away with its insanity, with its craziness, and they're gonna hurt people. They're fighting amongst themselves right now. That should have happened a couple of weeks ago. Unfortunately, it took this many weeks for it to happen. We need that type of revolution within that country to wake them up and to wake up the world that we need to stop them from doing what they're doing. So they're gonna try to use Trump, but that card's gonna not be played. It can't be played because you'll see it's all gonna be straightened out within the next few weeks if it takes that long. So ladies and gentlemen, all I can ask you to do, phone, talk to people, get engaged. See these elected officials? Sign up, work with them, go to their offices, hand out cards, make calls, get engaged. If we got people out there getting engaged, making these phone calls, going door to door, guess what's gonna happen? We are going to what? Win. And that's what we wanna do. What do we wanna do, Harry? Win. You sure about that? What do we wanna do?
Win.
Ladies and gentlemen, I've already talked a little bit, probably too much, but I will tell you right now, we can do it. God bless you. My wife would shoot you. We can and will do this, but you just gotta believe in yourself. You gotta believe in this world, and you gotta believe there is a God. And I don't care what religion you are, there is a God. And guess what? We still live in the greatest nation in the world. The greatest nation in the universe. There is nobody that's better than this great country. Ladies and gentlemen, we live in the greatest city, in the greatest state, in the greatest nation in the world. Can I hear it? Come on, give it up, give it up.